Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Libra. So today you get the full moon and a lunar eclipse as well, which means you are going to be interrupted in that moment of I am here in the full moon, which you get through the sun that is now in your opposite sign. And that's what's so fascinating, right? So the sun in Aries is giving the light to the full moon in your sign, and so the earth comes in between and creates the lunar eclipse. For a moment you are interrupted in that moment of I am in the light. And it's very interesting, right? It's almost like the earth is saying, okay, but you gotta look also at this. And this is what happens right today at your full moon. And so Aries, the fourth major arcana, ruled by Mars, the fire, the action, the warrior, and of course you, the 11th major arcana. So there is a portal here already. You have the inner teacher, the inner wisdom to be in your balance and to create that judgment. And you are ruled by Venus, and Venus is beauty and love and is feminine, right? We see the symbol here, the feminine symbol of Venus, and then of course the masculine symbol also for Mars, right? It's the arrow that goes up and out to the right. Just always remember, to the right, this is the extroverted human path, right? And so you are now getting to Aries. To that point, your opposite sign is giving you the light, and you are glowing and you're showing your deepest secrets, your subconscious, right? And so this is, of course, a special moment that exists only once a year, and it's happening today while I'm doing the reading. And the powerful thing is when we include all the other planets, this moment exists really only once in your life. Now the yoga position for you is squatting, standing on your feet, your tiptoes, and holding yourself in that balance, knowing that you are responsible for your own equilibrium, for the yin and the yang, for the understanding that everything has an inhale and an exhale. And the Aries energy is meditation, because the interesting part here is that it's the brain that is ruled by Aries, and so the meditation is the access to the brain and the four directions. We are looking deep within, and we recognize that we are the center of it all, and you are, of course, the hips. That's why I gave you here standing on your feet in your equilibrium of your hips, right? Because that's your body part. So this just today, for this moment that is happening at your full moon, right? That you understand how I'm working. Now we're reading the last time to the right. After this, we're going back to the new moon, and we're going left, soul, right? Introverted, to the right, masculine, extroverted. You are here the Queen of Swords, cutting off the ego, and particularly cutting off your own ego. And so very important that you understand that. Is your birthday between the September 12th and October 12th, then she is your court card. If not, please look in the description below. I have listed all the court cards there, all the cards that I'm using on their position and what the position means. You are the 7th house of love and relationships. So it's really important that you always recognize that a relationship inspires you very much. And as Libra, you are the one that brings beauty to everything, right? You love beauty. You love beautiful things. And so it's something that is really important to you. Mars is also ruling the tower. So this month we're going to look into what is the tower doing to us? What is Mars doing to us? What can we let go? Because here we have deeper insights, right? Or crisis moment that can happen. And so we're going to look at this in a moment. Back to the last reading where we had Pisces Sun giving Libra Moon the light, which was connected with Neptune. Neptune was the Hanged Man. The signs show that your full moon is bringing you into action. So the full moon already was talking back in the last reading. And we are gonna have a look, right? What's happening, because the Emperor came up in the center. You see that? So the Emperor, which is right now giving the light to the moon and is your opposite sign, is influencing you pretty much already. Good. So the Tower, which is also ruled by Mars, we're going to look into the animal spirit oracle, because when we have a crisis, it's nice to have an animal spirit coming to us and helping us going through that difficulty. And so we're going to have a look. What kind of animal is coming here at you? You got the camel. Look at that. So the triangle that's pointing up without a line through it is fire. And you see that the camel is looking to the left. And there are no numbers attached to it, right? And the 16 that turns then, when we calculate the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, with the 6, the self-love, together into a 7, which is the emotional intelligence that we gain when we let go, when we realize that certain things need to leave, and that we arrive at a very pivotal moment in life, right? So still, I'm gonna read to you the camel, what the camel is bringing. Resourceful, independent, knows one's self. The camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease, even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger. The camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. Beautiful. So when in balance, calm, content, and sparkle in the eye. And in general, how to bring it into balance is a pilgrimage, right? When out of balance, dehydrated, and lacks vitality. Great. So maybe you go for a travel, right? But the full moon is bringing you now the camel, and we see here the moon, and we recognize that to the left, the soul, but we're going now to the right, which is now your full moon. And we begin the reading on the position of the Fool, which is connected with Uranus. And Uranus, of course, is the revolution and this crazy idea, this moment, this, I just pluck this fruit and I have this moment of epiphany. And you have the camel here, and you have this 5 of Cups, right? You have 4 cups standing quite strong and balanced through now Aries, that gives you the light, which is the 4. And then you see the 5th cup is pouring into the soul. And so recognize the 5 and the 0 creates the 50. And we have here the constellation Mars in Scorpio. And so Scorpio is deep emotions, and Mars, right, which is now actually giving you the information through the camel that you have the water always deep within when Mars is hitting you. Remember, Mars in Scorpio. So remember, you have the resources deep within you to carry on, to continue. And yes, this is sometimes shedding tears, but those tears are liberating and freeing you. And so you are taking that path and seeing now the crazy idea, right, that the Fool is bringing to you as an opportunity to find a deeper meaning through the water that is residing deep within you. Then on the position of the Magician, which is connected with Mercury. And Mercury brings the information. We have here the lightning. And lightning is also fire, is light, but up in the air. And the 3 and the 1 of the Magician creates the 4. So the stability that we understand through Aries, the stability that you see here, and the other one is just literally like pouring into the soul, right, into the camel. So when you feed the camel, right, these kind of emotions so that you can continue your journey, it doesn't matter inwards or outwards, right, because that's happening anyway. But if you understand it and if you know it, then you can live easier with what's happening around you. And so we have the 4 here, right? And Mercury is bringing you the language, bringing you the signs. And so there is a sign coming to you with the 3, with the Empress, with that the abundance is there, right? The lightning is there. The moment the brain understands something, maybe simply just what's happening here with these 2 cards, right? Or also the lightning that is coming directly now through Mars, through the tower, coming in, and you do get the lightning, right? And I want to see what is coming, and you get the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is connected with Mercury in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is also a fire sign, and things are happening really fast. And you see that she is shooting those arrows into the 5 of Cups. Understand that now the 4 and the 8 creates the 12. The 12 zodiac signs, or the Hanged Man, calculated together, we get the 3 left. So the 3, the Empress, is talking and saying, well, bring your energy into resolving what's happening here with the 5 of Cups, with, of course, understanding a certain sadness, Mars in Scorpio, and things are going to release itself really quickly because a lightning strikes really quickly, right? A lightning is like a bolt of energy. And if I just do the 8 and the 3, I get the 11. And the 11 is then, of course, the inner teacher that is talking to you. Plus the 1, then you have 3 times the 1. I can also create this, right? I can give you a 3 or 3 times the 1. A bigger portal, right? So you choose for you what works. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man was back then Pisces Sun, right? The message was the signs show that your full moon is bringing you into action. And yes, there is action, right? Lightning is action, and a really quick action. And also 8 wands, it's like it's gonna happen really fast, like something is creating deep within you an epiphany, a moment of like an electricity, right? And so here we have the 12, which came up here when we calculated everything together. And the 12 is the 3, and the 2 is the 5. And we recognize now, of course, that we can also do the 12 and the 2 as a 14. The 14 is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius came here through the 8 of Wands. Mercury in Sagittarius, right? So the lightning, Mercury here, is saying, yes, things are going to happen really fast. And then the 14 calculated together, we get still the 5 senses. Understand how everything works, how everything functions, how the signs come just through one picture, right? The Ankh reversed, and it's like if I explain just this card, it takes 1 hour for all the signs that are in here. But your intuition is understanding you got to let go. Already back then, the letting go came. And so now, one more time, your intuition is telling you, yes, I got to let go. I got to really let go. Then, on the position of the Empress comes again the Hanged Man. Look at that. So that's why I love doing for each position its own deck, because I get the confirmation that 2 times the Hanged Man is really letting me know you got to really let it go something. And you see how the money is literally falling out of his pockets. You're holding on to something that doesn't make sense anymore. When we calculate the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess together, right, at the 12, we get the 3-3 here. With her, the 3. And so really clearly, you understand now that something is talking, because the 33 is the degree of the secret brotherhoods, the mastery, the last degree, right? And so when you have that, but you need to do the work. You need to put the 10 and the 2 together. The Wheel of Fortune is spinning, and you constantly got to recognize your intuition is being challenged. And then the 3 appears, but it's a fleeting moment. It can be gone in a moment, right? And so recognize that the 33 is talking here to you through then also here the 3 of the Empress. Then on the position of Aries. Aries is bringing you the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Swords, we understand that there is a fight. There is something. You're looking at the Hanged Man. You see how the 5 coins are falling out of this bag and out of this bag. And so here the 5 coins are with the 5 of Cups, and here these 5 coins are with the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is, of course, Venus in Aquarius, right? Meanwhile, here we have Mars in Scorpio. And so this is really interesting, because we have Mars, right, ruling Aries, and you are ruled by Venus. So there is, through Mars and Venus coming together, Mars in the Sun, that extroverted, Venus in the Moon, that introverted, comes here a very powerful message, right? That Mars and Venus squall, man and woman, inhale and exhale, right? They have their own time. And so the 5 and the 4 creates a 9. There is a completion, because you're looking at this and you're looking into the soul's energy and understand that this is not something you like. This is not something you want, because you feel these 2 people that you had the quarrel with are now far away from you, and you gotta think about what was it that you said that this moment happened. What was it that you did, right? That you also feel now this sadness that you are losing here the 5 and here the 5, right? And it's really interesting that it's framing then the 12 and of course also the Empress, right? So understand the message is quite strong and clear, right? Sometimes the numbers, I'm telling you, I love the numbers. I love the pictures as well. I integrate immediately when I see something, but the numbers, they just so like, bam. It's like, that's it. Then on the position of the Queen of Swords, we get the 4 of Pentacles. And so it's very clear that here we have Sun in Capricorn, but the 4 is with the Emperor. And the Sun in Capricorn, sometimes it's about holding on to things that don't make sense. Now you're the 7th house of relationship and love, right? And in that, the 7 and the 4 creates the 11, the inner teacher. Now learn from what you learned here and implement it and find the stability that you also see here in the 4 of Cups, right? Still, you got one more cup that is pouring into the camel. And the camel, remember, is resourceful and knows how to hold the emotions. And if I put this together, the camel says, yeah, don't worry. I will help you. I will teach you, right, to understand how everything is functioning. Because here the 11, the inner teacher, is giving you a clear message that Sun in Capricorn is then a moment where you have made your financial stability, and then you can be wise, right? Then you can be here in the center and really be understanding of what happened here, hopefully. On the position of Libra, Libra is bringing you the 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords is connected with Mercury in Aquarius. Now, we had Venus in Aquarius, and now we have Mercury in Aquarius. So 5 and 6 again. 11 Swords. 11 Swords is letting you know the Sun and the Moon together. If you come into a if you understand that the 11 is framing the 11 that is happening here, the 7 and the 4 is an 11, and so the inner teacher is appearing in learning more about why this happened, because the 6 of Swords is learning, is leaving troubled water for waters that are more calm. And you see 3 and 3 swords crossing this flower, and it's one of the most beautiful swords card, right? Minor arcanas, because here we're learning, here we're studying, here we want to know why did this happen, and of course also this, right? And so Mercury in Aquarius, you understand the lightning. Mercury brought the lightning, and of course Mercury in Sagittarius brought you the 8 of Wands. Things are then happening really fast, and so understand that. Understand the 11 Swords, right, the inner teacher, and the 11 up to the Queen of Swords. Beautiful. Then on the position of the Moon comes the Eye of the Needle. Now we have here the number 17, which is Aquarius. Aquarius, very clear, has come through Venus in Aquarius. The 5 of Swords has come through Mercury in Aquarius, right? The 11 Swords. Then you get one more needle to look through and realize that's the 12th needle. You had twice the Hanged Man. You are understanding something, you are seeing something, and you are recognizing that the 18 is the 9 plus the 8 calculated together here, we get the 17, the star. Aquarius. Aquarius lets you know, shine like a star, be ready for being in the light. The full moon from Aries is giving you the power to be today in a position of an emperor, and that is important. You need to know how important that is, and so you need to focus. You need to look deeper within, and the 8 is left, right? And so the 8 is bringing you an 8-8 portal here with the 8 of Wands, and an understanding that everything has a message for us. Really, I see it more and more, and I cannot deny it, because here through the Eye of the Needle we get the Daughter of Wands, and the Daughter of Wands are all 3 fire signs, the young generation: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Sagittarius was here through the 8 of Wands, right? Mercury in Sagittarius. The message, the lightning is hitting you, is coming. And we had the 30 here, so there are 3 zodiac signs, and the lightning is like something's like an epiphany is coming to you, and you are understanding that, right? Because then the 8 and the 3, again the 11, the inner teacher appears. So understand that you have 6 times the 1 already. Really important to know that and to feel that. and recognize that the message is coming, right? And that you are, when you're focusing into this needle, right, that you had 11 swords, but now you have a needle, which is in a way also like something that's, then you have 12, right? And so it's important that you see that. And the young generation is helping you to take that step out and show yourself like an Aries would stand there and be like, yes, I am an Aries, right? And of course, and that's what the focus brings, right? That you understand the young generation is teaching you that. Because then on the position of the sun as the sun that is shining in the sky, right, we get the 20, the rock. And the rock here is, then you see how the tree of life is made, because we see the tree of life here, right, the white tree of life and the black tree of life, and we recognize that then at the rock bottom we know that it's a destiny. The 20 is the calling. It's your calling to awaken, because when we calculate this together, the 19, we get the 10 and the 2 is the 12. Again, we get the 12, which turns into a 3. The 12 that we had with the 12 here, right? And so you understand, you gotta let go something, otherwise nature does it. And so I want to see, what is this rock, or here, this endurance, this focusedness bringing to you? And it's the Ace of Pentacles, right? And the Ace of Pentacles is then, with the 4 of Pentacles, 5 Pentacles, right? Then you have 5 Cups, 5 Swords, and 5 Pentacles. Then you have 3 times the 5. Understand that the message is coming clearly, because then the 12 plus the 1 is the 13. The 13 is Scorpio, and Scorpio was here through the 5 of Cups. Mars in Scorpio, right? A sadness that you can release now. And then a new financial understanding is coming when we focus anew, when we see things from a new perspective. And you understand then here that the 13 becomes the 4. The 4, again, Aries. Aries is bringing this to you. You are now Aries, right? And so you understand very clearly what's happening, because then the last card on the position of the universe, right, that worldly, what can I do now with all this information? You get the Hierophant, again a 5. Then you have 4 times the 5, and 4 times the 5 is understanding that the 4 is the heart, that the 4 is the Emperor, that is challenging you, that is letting you know, now be an Emperor, be up in the sky and shine bright and show yourself. And the 21 turns into a 3, the 3, and here the 5 is the 8, and the 8 is then here that you understand that things are going to happen really fast, and you understand now that the camel is looking at the Hierophant, is looking at Taurus, and Taurus is coming in the next reading. So you already have the information for the next reading, that things are changing in banks, in institutions, and that you need to have your resources. You need to know that you need the water deep within you. You need the resources of the water. You need to understand that we need to do the things in a good way, in a right way, because we're getting more and more people, and the earth is getting depleted and is getting robbed and is not getting treated the way it should be treated, right? And this is why the endurance is coming. Look at this tree. It's like, what's going on here, right? And so understand that the camel is letting you know you need to understand the message that is coming now in this full moon through the Emperor. And what does an Emperor do? An Emperor takes care of the people around him. And so these two are talking to each other, and this is what the moon is bringing to you, right? Understand the endurance, understand that everything has a meaning, and that the financial aspect, right, here of the Ace of Pentacles is that the endurance is important, is that we understand that the earth is bringing us, the earth people is bringing us all the materialness, right, that we need to create the jobs that we have. And I always say, I don't have a boss. The earth is my boss. And I try as much as I can to be conscious in how I use the technology and how I use everything that is that we can use, because that's the new technology, right? Here, Mercury in Aquarius, the information is coming down. And so here you see the 5 and the 1 is also then a 6, and the 6 is here the 6 with the 6 of Swords, right? The information is coming, and you know what to do and what not to do today on your full moon. Well, I hope I see you in the next one, because Taurus is here talking to you, letting you know already, yes, in the next reading, Taurus is going to bring you already an understanding about the money, about how we save money for the next generation. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me and wish you a beautiful full moon ceremony for today. Namaste.